when he knocked on our hotel door when we were up in Minnesota last fall taking a Hawkeye football game in, and asked for permission to propose to our daughter. Linda and I were touched he would ask for our permission. I quickly told Mark, like it or not, he'd already become part of the family. I am confident that Mark will show my daughter the respect and attention she deserves, helping to ensure a lasting marriage. That's all a parent can hope for. I feel even more confident about this knowing the family values John and Eileen have instilled in their children, as we have in ours. We're all excited about making Mark part of our family, with the possible exception of Matthew. As we continued the walk, moving closer to the front of the church, I could see my wife standing before us. I could only imagine how she must have felt watching as we approached her. I can tell you what I felt, guilt. For no one knows better than I that she should have been the one walking Lindsay down the aisle, not I. I can't imagine there are many stronger mother-daughter bonds than the one exists between the two of them. Nor have there been many mothers who have played a more important role in the development of their child. My guilt quickly turned to gratitude as I realized more than ever the value of her contributions, not only to Lindsay but to the family as a whole. A few more feet and the walk would soon be over. Ambivalence began to set in. While I was excited to gain a son-in-law, I was saddened to think the clever alliteration Aunt Jerry had come up with some 25 years ago would no longer apply. Lindsay Lee Lowe would soon become Lindsay Lee Decker. Had we known that from the start, perhaps we would have named her Dixie D or something. Having reached our final destination, I kissed my daughter on the cheek, once again holding back the tears. I couldn't help thinking about all the adversity she had overcome to get to this point in her life, including being the only child on the block other than her two siblings who had to wear a football helmet while riding her big wheel. At her mother's insistence, of course. Being preceded in school by two brothers like Matthew and Joshua, who despite the picture were anything but angels. Unfortunately, the casting for which sometimes extended beyond the kids. And last, but certainly not least, the accident. I can remember being somewhat disappointed at times during Lindsay's high school athletic career, wondering if she really had the commitment and courage it took to complement her athletic abilities and reach her true potential. It's only a game, she would say, one of the many lessons she has taught me in her life. Yet watching her rehabilitate and overcome the physical and emotional injuries following her near-fatal car accident made me realize what courage and commitment was all about. She was truly inspirational for both her mother and me. She'll never know how much joy and happiness she has brought to us over the years. I can only assume, therefore, that given all she's overcome in her life, she can surely overcome this. As you can see from the picture, she demonstrated early on a strong interest in doing housework. Motherhood would seem natural for her as well, as illustrated by this photo of her playing doll. A new chapter had begun in life of the Lows, and all of you here tonight have contributed material for the opening paragraphs. The chapter is simply titled The Wedding and is appropriately numbered Chapter 11. Now, I would like to propose a toast, not only to Mark and Lindsay, but to each and every one of you for making this such a great evening. To everyone.